Wait a minute, what am I doing? Two men and a what? Two friends from film school, one who graduated, one who did, and they decided to make a podcast. Okay, this has never been done before, right? Okay. This is Matthew and Harrison's Two Men in a Movie. It's not what it sounds like.
But like, I just don't know how you could hate the Irish like so many people did. If as soon as they got off the boat, they started singing Rocky Road to Dublin and doing a jig. Maybe they did it, and that's why there's all the prejudiceness.
I don't think that's why there was prejudice, but you know what? Go for it.
And it's why people hated the Italians, because they have no jaunty ethnic tunes. They have the monkeys.
Are the monkeys Italian?
I always picture an Italian man with the organ grinders.
Sure.
Not the band, the monkeys.
That's what I was...
No, the organ grinder, not the traditional ethnic jaunty band, the monkeys.
Yeah, I was so confused.
No,
I was like, do you know something I did? I thought they were like British.
No, the you know the monkey, he goes and it's got a little cup and you put coins in it. We've all seen these.
Yes,
we've all experienced a monkey in an organ grinder.
I know what you're talking about.
That's like all the Italians have. And like those are cool to see at like a festival or a jaunty day out at the market. But I imagine if on a boat a bunch of people came off with organ grinders and small monkeys, that'd be kind of scary.
I'm literally looking up Italian bands to see like if any of them... Goblin's Italian. Nah, Goblin rules. Goblin did the soundtrack to Dawn of the Dead and Martin, and Goblin rules.
Yeah, what's his name, right?
What's his name?
The guy that's like, oh, he's an opera singer.
Oh, I mean, yeah, the Italians have the market on opera.
Yeah, but like, okay, so I'm a little Protestant boy, and I'm out on the docks to see the ships come in.
Yeah.
First ship comes in. That's the sound of feet. Little jaunty jig. It's the Irish singing Rocky Road to Dublin. Delightful. Look at these fun guys. They seem like I could have a beer with them. Next boat comes off. Ooh, bunch of people sing opera. Bunch of bougie pricks.
If
you come off a boat, a bunch of people come off a boat singing opera.
The sharing the music of their home. They're doing the same thing the Irish people are.
But it's not a jaunty, jiggable tune, is it? Like a dock worker, will never see an opera. I don't have money for operas. Gotta feed my kids. Gotta drink beer, which the Irish understand. Italians drink wine.
Irish
there
beer is more.
Italian
There's got to be
beers.
Italian beers.
Of course there is.
No, but like big ones. Like there's got to be. They're all very Italian names. Never mind. I was like, there's got to be like a Guinness-esque, but for Italy.
I've seen
there's
one
not.
Italian beer. I've had one Italian beer.
Was it good?
It was okay.
Okay. I mean, I'm not a beer. I was never a beer guy.
I was indifferent to it. I've had a lot better beers.
Beer is excellent when you're already drunk.
Nah, dude. Hot day, cold beer. Ooh.
Nah, I was a cider man. I was a hard cider man.
See, and the Irish love cider. They're coming off with their ciders and beers. Italians come off with little wine glasses. Whoa! Thank God New Jersey turned the Italians into a respectable people. Welcome to the Two Men in a Movie podcast, where each week one man shows another man a movie he can't believe he hasn't seen. As always, I'm your New Jersey praising, sweating like a pig host, Matthew Olenchek, joined as always by my New Jersey one to go to. You want to be refined as the Italians were.
I really want to live in New Jersey.
Co-host Harrison Poole, who might be sweating like a pig.
I'm always sweating. Dude, I'm 350 pounds. I'm always more than a little bit sweaty.
I feel like I'm like when I'm sweating, people are like, oh, it must be hot. Because I don't sweat that much. Really? At night I do.
I wake
up wet like a salamander.
I am vaguely trying to be thinner. But I've been thinner in my life, and truly the starkest difference is there's two. One, I breathe better, but I
was about to say breathing.
It's breathing and all of your internal body temperature disappears, so you actually feel cold. Like I have during the winter, I have my AC cranked a little bit because I constantly need to be a little bit cold.
I run really hot So like normally I'm not sweaty because I'm internally I might be hotter than the weather. I mean everyone is, but like I'm really like toasty. But like I don't know, yesterday was like 90 degrees, which is fine. When I was outside, lovely. Had a great time doing laundry. I was like, ooh, it's so nice outside. And I come into this fucking insulated hot box. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, because I think there's like circulation outside.
Yeah.
Yes, it's humid as hell.
It wasn't even humid. It's dry up here.
I stepped out of my car and my glasses fogged. And maybe that's just because my car is freezing and I walked into the heat. But like...
No, it was... There is no circulation in this apartment.
Yeah.
And it holds heat like no other. So I was like, ugh.
Yeah, no, I like this place a lot for you. And this is actually one of my favorite, if not my favorite, of your places that I've seen.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's really nice.
I really like it here.
That is the one fatal flaw this place has.
Central air and better laundry machines. Perfect place.
That is frustrating. It's a lot better when you have your own laundry in your own unit because even if something goes wrong, you can
my last
fix it
place
yourself.
Was probably the best laundry experience I had. But
Yeah, we got a used set from my parents' friends. They were moving and we bought their old washer dryer.
I keep considering getting one.
It's in our
I don't
basement.
know where I'd put it or how I'd hook it up, but I'm still like,
I mean, the only thing you could do is the sink, but like, there's
hose.
no way. Anyway,
hose.
So the movie this week, much like Dune Part 1, Part 2, and Tron Legacy, I'm trying an experiment.
They made a sequel?
No, but I'm going to do the next two movies I pick are today's movie, Blood Simple, and then the Coen Brothers follow-up movie, Raising Arizona. Because I want to see...
Yeah, I've seen Raising Arizona.
You have?
Not in a long time.
Okay.
I'm not sure I remember it, so...
I'm counting that then. Because I want to see...
I think my mom,
compare...
when I was young, my mom got it on like a Netflix DVD.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I want to compare like a first two films in a filmography, and especially the Coen Brothers made two very different films on purpose.
They really knocked out their formula in the first movie. I was watching this, I'm like, this is like if you boiled a Coen Brothers movie for like 24 hours until it just left with a Coen sludge.
See, to me, this is 80%. This is 80% of the way there as far as like what the Coen Brothers would become.
Oh yeah, it's 80% of the way, but like they hit this is the stock of a Coen Brothers too. It has everything that makes a Coen Brothers, not much else, but everything that makes a Coen Brothers movie a movie.
And then Raising Arizona is the other half. And then everything else then are just different, like slightly different amounts of those two movies.
Because this
Miller's
really
Crossing
is
a little
this really is but like the purest form of faffing about as the plot progresses.
Yes,
I've ever seen.
It's awesome.
I forgot. It's like 45 minutes in or something. It's a good part of the movie, and maybe not that far. Where I'm like, aren't all the main characters dead?
So, are you aware of the history of the director's cut of this movie?
No.
So the original theatrical cut of this movie was 99 minutes long in 1985. And then in 1995, for the 10-year anniversary, they let the Coen Brothers do a director's cut, and they trimmed it down to 96 minutes. It's one of the only director's cuts, quote unquote, that are shorter than the theatrical cut because they had 10 years experience. And it was like, oh, if I were to remake this movie today,
we can make it even quicker.
We can trim it. And I don't think they flat out cut anything. They just trim a bunch of reactions just to like keep the pacing, which is incredibly needless. And I'm so thankful they did it. I would be interested in seeing the 99-minute of this and comparing and contrasting, but it's so difficult to find. And but this version, by all accounts, is better.
Yeah.
They also changed one song from the theatrical because the rights ran out, and they couldn't renew the rights, and so they swapped out. I forget what song, but they replaced it with Neil Diamond's version of "I'm a Believer." Mm. That's the story of the director's cut of this movie, and it's fantastic. It's this movie's great. Again, this movie is about 80% of the way there of what like peak Coen Brothers will be.
It is a firm foundation.
It is a strong debut.
Because there's so many people say that movies are about like nothing really happening, and dear God, like obviously there's a plot that happens, but like in real life terms, I mean a lot happens. It's pretty dramatic events.
Yeah.
But like so much of it is just people faffing about because they won't talk to each other.
It's they very much. I haven't seen a lot of Howard Hawks, but that's what they wanted to do, was make their own version of a Howard Hawks movie. That's like like a thriller noir type in tone, but actually very little happens. Like there are like 4 key scenes in this movie. 2 of them happen back to back, and then one at the end and one in the beginning. Like there's the intro of the couples, the Frances McDormand cheating on her husband.
Yeah.
There's the death of Marty. There's the burial of Marty and Ray's descent. And then there's the death of I forget his name, but I'm gonna call him Big Hoss.
Big Hoss.
Because he's a big hoss. And if that's not the character's name, that's the character's new
Fat
name.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
For a second, I'm like, is that Gene Wilder?
There are 4 like moments in this movie, and it's amazing.
So much of it is just people bumbling back and forth.
And not talking to each other.
And not talking to each other.
Ray could have saved himself so much spiraling if he and Frances McDormand just had an open conversation.
If he they had a conversation, if he literally just said, what are you talking about? You killing Marty.
That's all he had to say.
And he'd be like,
Instead, he was like, it's done. I finished your job. You didn't finish your job. And she's just like, what are you talking about? You're scaring me. And, so much of this movie is like dialogue without dialogue. Like the entire scene in the car with Marty trying to like hire Hoss, where Marty's not saying what he wants at all, and Hoss just knows immediately because he's not saying, just like, oh, you want me to kill him? Like he's almost bored at the idea. Like,
yeah, and then he's like, oh, they must have my lighter. And it's like, no one knows you're involved. No one knows anything, buddy.
No one.
Read the script. No one knows what's going on. You're fine.
Also, to open the safe and steal all the money and then not take your picture back. That's why you opened the script. Or the safe. I'm just... And I understand that, like you said, just read the script.
Lighter was there.
Yeah, no.
They never show him finding the lighter.
No.
Well, at the end of this movie, I was thinking, like not necessarily the court proceedings of this, because I think a good lawyer is going to be able to be like, she's defending herself, obviously. Mm-hmm. But the cops I feel bad for the cops who have to like figure out what happened.
The Coen brothers are masters of the 15 minutes after the movie.
I know, because I just like, imagine cops trying to figure out an order of events.
Yes, that is another thing.
It would take them weeks, and they would be so angry at the end because they would have spent weeks, and they would be like, "This is so stupid."
Everyone's faffing about, but the movie moves so quickly. It's so... I don't know if it's I don't know how they... I don't know if they had like everyone just had that internal metronome timed or what, because there are long silences. There's one point after Ray buries Marty where he just sits in his car and stares out the window. I think that's what he's like, just like decompressing, and it's like 30 seconds.
Oh, he's outside of the car.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's standing and he's just staring out into the wide world. And it's a long shot, and it doesn't feel that long.
But Jesus, those poor cops. I think there's another movie where the cops are like, oh, everyone involved is just stupid and I can't remember what it is.
I don't know.
It's another like murder thing where they're like, I think everyone involved's just an idiot.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know how you would solve this. I don't know how you'd figure out what happened.
See, I think once everyone's dead, Frances McDormand would explain. But she doesn't know anything. Like, she would explain everything.
Was Marty. She doesn't know who this guy is.
No.
So, like, you show up as a cop, right? You find this guy who killed the other guy.
Yes.
She doesn't know who he is.
No
There's
idea.
a picture of them dead.
Yes.
And her husband's missing.
She knows what happened to her husband. So she doesn't know where he is.
Okay, so her husband's gone. He was buried alive.
Her boyfriend, I'll say boyfriend. Her affair partner is dead and was going insane because he wasn't communicating.
And he buried. So like you're sitting there at your fucking cop board, with the strings, and you have this guy that no one knows how he's related.
Correct.
The husband was buried alive, and everyone but the girl's dead. And there's a picture of the girl and her affair husband dead.
Arguably, the person who knows the least is left alive.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, that photograph, you're like, what?
I forgot. I forgot Ray has the photograph on him. Yeah. I thought I remember him grabbing it, but I forgot he, like, stuffed it in his pocket. Yeah. His, like, jacket, not jacket, but, like, shirt pocket. It's insane.
Like, what's happening? It'd be a D.B. Cooper case. You'd be like, it'd become like an urban legend. Like, why is there a picture of them dead? It's obviously fake.
Yeah. Maurice doesn't know anything.
Maurice knows less than she does. Maurice thinks the husband's missing. That's about he has no idea what's happening.
Maurice thinks he's dead because she thinks he's dead.
No, because he says he's going to go find him. That's the last thing he says in the movie.
Sure. I think once the police come to him, it's gonna snap.
Well, then he knows one thing.
Yeah, he knows about he vaguely knows about the affair partner, but he also thinks that Ray was the one who broke into the safe because he doesn't know Big Hoss exists.
Yeah, he's just gonna provide more false information on Bubbles that makes everything more complicated.
The 15 minutes after this movie would be so riveting. They're so good at that.
Because if he broke into the safe, where's the money?
Yeah.
All his stuff's packed up.
Also, this might be the Coen Brothers movie ending that makes the most sense. Like when you watch the rest of the movie, that doesn't feel like it comes out of nowhere.
It comes out of nowhere.
Inside Llewyn Davis and True Grit.
I would say Big Lebowski makes sense.
Big Lebowski makes sense thematically. I don't remember a lot if it makes sense narratively, but that movie is all about themes. Is actually less about what's actually going on.
It makes because the nihilists want money.
Yeah,
and Donnie's gonna die because he didn't do a strike.
Fair. I was just thinking because like Barton Fink ends with. Have you seen Barton Fink?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Barton Fink ends with John Goodman going crazy, John Turturro's life falling apart, and then him seeing a beautiful woman at a beach. It makes sense. Comes out of nowhere. Especially the John Goodman comes out of nowhere. A Serious Man ends with a twister that wasn't set up until 2 minutes before the twister comes.
Well, we made God obsessed, so that makes sense. You have the Jewish goddess.
It makes sense thematically. It doesn't make sense narratively. This is insane. I love this movie. I liked this movie the first time I saw it. I think I love this movie now.
It just like no one has any idea. Like the one guy's like the Big Hoss has to be like, where'd the body go?
Yeah.
No one knows anything.
So I know we said the 4 things that happen in this movie, but let's try and break down a little bit. The film opens with Frances McDormand, who plays Marty's wife, Abby, who is cheating with Marty's employee, bartender, security, Ray.
Yeah.
Marty runs... Is it a strip club?
I don't think it's... I don't see any strippers.
Because when Ray and Maurice meet or Abby and Maurice meet at the strip club, I thought that was the other side of the bar. Is that a different location? Club? Yeah, when the woman is walking, the woman is walking, you just see her legs, and then you hear the announcer go, "This registered nurse is putting herself through school. Like, everyone give her money."
I didn't pick that up.
Anyway, he runs a bar. That may or may not also be a strip club. That may be a different location. Also, you can tell this is a low budget movie because all of the architecture looks far too similar. They probably had access to like 3 buildings total, and 2 of them were the same layout. They were essentially opposite sides of you know how like apartment complexes will have basically the same but mirror images. That's kind of what like the Big House and the Abby Ray apartment are. They very much feel like split images of the same house. By the way, this movie was shot for $1.5 million, which they make use of that money, but you can absolutely tell that like this movie was shot for $1.5 million. So they go to they're driving in the rain, and then they have sex in a storm and
in a house.
But it's storming outside to mirror the turmoil
but
of
if
what's
you said
about
somebody
to...
had sex in the storm, I'm imagining it's like the scene in fucking Shawshank Redemption, but they're fucking.
Or like the Cider House Rules, but it's like, I gotcha.
Yeah, they are wet with rain. They're probably gonna get pneumonia.
So they're in the house. They're having sex in the storm, to like mirror the turmoil that's about to happen. That is happening, but is also about to happen. Marty is suspicious. Doesn't really know anything until Haas shows him the pictures. Marty has hired Haas as a private investigator. Haas is a PI, but he's like kind of just a like, I'll do anything for the right amount of money type.
Yeah, he's a PI.
Sure.
You don't become a PI if you're like, I have strong ethics.
Okay, sure. Fair enough, I guess.
I want to get a license so I can professionally stalk people. Like,
he's like I'll do anything for the right price type of dude. And he has proof that Abby's cheating. And he's obviously not happy about it. And he attacks Abby. He like tries to kidnap Abby in their home. He
want to Ray's home.
Yeah, Ray's home, yes.
Because he didn't lock the door.
And she sees the dog. She sees their dog. Yeah. And is like, what is Opal doing here? And then all of a sudden... he
just really gets his shit kicked in. I really enjoyed it. It's like this big dramatic scene, and then she just kicks him really hard into the dick, and then the dramatic tension's gone.
That's where the $1.5 million shows. Were like, they didn't really have the budget to do
fake vomit.
Yeah, they didn't have the budget to do anything like action packy until the very end. So they had to be like, what is realistically what would happen here?
Also, yeah, why don't you lock your fucking door?
I agree with you. Maybe he just forgot, maybe. I don't know if he makes a habit of it because Haas has to break into the door in the future. So
maybe that was him learning.
Maybe it was him learning. Maybe he just forgot. Maybe, you know what? He was excited that he was gonna have an affair with a married woman, and he just wasn't thinking.
That's when you double check.
I agree. Listen, Matthew, I agree with you. However, he didn't. I don't know what to tell you.
Anytime I've been part of an affair, I've gotten spy drones, flew them above.
Okay, nice. The dynamic between Ray and Marty is fascinating because there's deep-seated hatred on both ends.
No one likes Marty.
No one likes Marty, which is fair. He is a prick.
Yeah, every single person in this entire fucking tale is like, Marty's a piece of shit.
Do you think she married Marty for the security, or do you think that he at one point was like a poor nice dude who then got money?
Who knows the mind of a woman?
Okay.
Who knows why those crazy broads do what they do?
Here. The last interaction they have...
Also back then... If my this is a bit before, but if my grandparents are anything to go by, women just married men they hated.
Sure.
Like, I don't know. I don't know if there's love in that time period.
My grandparents loved each other deeply.
Do you know that for a fact?
Yes. Like deep, like yeah. My grandmother was deeply in love with my grandfather. Like not going
the only
into it,
marriage I grew up really experiencing was my grandparents,
but- okay.
and not good, not good at all. Really giving the vibes of man if it weren't for the kids.
Oh, okay, I mean, yeah, that sucks.
It's all family stuff. Because I've told the egg sandwich
you told
story.
me the egg sandwich story.
But like growing up, it was my mom's like, he was a good dad, and I was like, when has he been a good father to any of you? And he's like, well, we always had a roof over our heads. I'm like, so he did the bare necessity that makes him a good father.
Where were we in the movie?
The story just reminds me of my mom because it's a blonde dating a really hairy Italian, or married in this case, but.
I don't know if I could look it up. I don't know if they were married or even dating. I think it's very interesting that Joel Coen directed his wife, Frances McDormand, having an affair in like the second scene of this movie. Or the first scene in this movie. It's like the second location. Yeah, Frances McDormand and Joel Coen are married. Yeah. Actually, during this exact time period, basically Blood Simple to Evil Dead 2, that like 3 years, the Coen brothers, Frances McDormand, Holly Hunter, Sam Raimi, and Kathy Bates all lived in a house together. All lived in a 3-bedroom house together.
Who's the person that lived with Mark Hamill?
I don't know.
I love these. Like, I love whenever I hear, like, we used to be roommates, and it's always the wildest thing.
Jason Segel and Kevin Hart used to be roommates.
Huh.
I also think it's very interesting. You'll see Holly Hunter in Raising Arizona. One of maybe a top 10 actor alive. Definitely a top 10 most beautiful women alive.
I'll be the judge of that.
I think it's very interesting that
making proclamations here. Let King Horny decide.
Listen, people are allowed to have different taste.
I could be wrong.
You can't be wrong about having your taste as long as everyone's like an adult.
Nah.
Anyway,
hang on. Didn't look up.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure if she's top 10, but she's up there. She's up there.
I think it's
good eyebrows.
Fantastic eyebrows.
And I like brown eyes. She's up there. She's up.
It's weird that none of them worked with Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
What happened?
Different projects.
What's the backstory? Well, I mean, sure, but you also think eventually. Like all of them worked together, and then oh, by the way, we also lived with one of the most talented actresses alive, and then never worked with her. Is there deep-seated hatred? I
just think it just never worked out. I just think it's one of those little times in life where it's like when you're working at a place with multiple shifts, and like one day you find out that there's a person who works that you never met before,
Okay.
Ever happened to you?
I vaguely know what you're talking about.
When I worked at the grocery store, there's a point where I saw someone that apparently worked there for months, and I thought they were new just because we worked at different shifts.
That's fair.
Completely, and they never overlapped. And I was like, who the fuck's this?
Oh, huh. I don't know. That's the shit that's fascinating. Also, the fact that Joel Coen was like an editing assistant on the first Evil Dead, and then right after this movie they make Crime Wave, they co-write Crime Wave and Hudsucker Proxy, and the 5 of them worked so tightly together for several years, and then it just feels like Kathy Bates is on an island.
Well, maybe she's like the roommate that you don't really see very often because she's just she's on a different schedule.
She's out there winning Academy Awards.
Yeah, maybe she's just on a different schedule,
A lot of debut features fall into like a handful of categories. There's like 3 or 4 big categories. There's the nailed it on the first try. There's I have to make this so that I have made my feature. It's actually nothing like anything I've ever made. I just need to make something. Or there's there's this movie, 80% of the way there. You see all of the pieces. They aren't quite dialed to the correct tone. Not that the Coen brothers like nail the tone every time. They nail the tone way more often than they don't. Even movies that like other people dislike, Hail Caesar's a masterpiece. Hail Caesar's a fucking masterpiece of a movie. And I will physically fist fight anyone who disagrees.
Never seen him.
It's not even top 5 Coen brothers. It's not top 8 Coen brothers probably. And I would still, it might be 8, but it's still so perfect. Then again, my favorite Coen brothers movie is like so many. Probably Hudsucker Proxy. If you put a gun to my head and made me pick a favorite Coen Brothers movie, it's Hudsucker Proxy. I'm not going to say it's their best. I am going to say it's my favorite. It's a perfect 10 out of 10 movie. It's a 15 out of 10 movie. It's like a 12. It's like a 12 out of 10 movie.
What's your favorite Tarantino movie?
Reservoir Dogs is the movie that made me want to go to film school. So that's the one I have the most emotional connection to. So if I had to pick one, it's Reservoir Dogs. I think Jackie Brown's is best.
I like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a lot. I like that movie. I love that movie a lot. I've seen that movie like 4 times.
I saw it 5 times in theaters.
I saw it 3 times in theaters.
I just kept going back. It was like a week where like every day I saw that movie.
It's a movie that gets better every time I watch it. All of the flaws that I had with it in the first watch through are all gone right by now. So I'm just like, yes, it's too long and it's meandery and it's great. And I wouldn't cut a goddamn second of it.
Single fucking second. Just like this movie, there's nothing to cut, really.
Well, yeah, because they cut everything.
Which were just reaction shots.
The only thing you can cut is the 30 seconds staring out a window.
Nah,
maybe 20. You can maybe cut it to 20 seconds.
You could cut a few seconds out the fucking.
Sure, but that happens so quickly that like.
You're right. This movie is a very lean, mean, meandering machine. Every single second's meandering, and every single second is used perfectly.
That actually perfectly describes the Coen Brothers style.
Like every second is masterfully used, and in that second, the characters are just bumbling like fucking morons.
So,
arguably, the only person who doesn't bumble in this movie is Abby.
Yeah, because she's the only one trying to have a conversation.
She leaves the guy's house twice, and each time does something.
Yeah, she's trying to figure out what the movie's about. She's like, not even actively. She just understands that no one else understands what's going on. And so she's just like, well, if no one else is going to do this, I'm going to figure this out.
Well, that's something do you think you could punch through a wall and pull a knife out of your hand?
Not at that
What
distance.
an insane fucking scene.
It's true. It's... How do you... Yeah, okay. I'm going to... Half a second.
He's enough room to shoot through the wall.
Yeah. So like you can... this is an audio medium, but like...
Do archery?
I'm trying
You look like you're doing some weird...
Well, your hand is stabbed.
Yeah.
And like the wall is... Let's say the wall's here.
I think it's the other hand that was stabbed.
Well, that's even worse because I'm going with my good hand punching through the wall. That's what? Less than a foot?
Well, we'll try it so the wall's here, windows here. Your hands, that hand.
So here's the wall.
Yeah, that hand is stabbed, so it's there.
So it's stabbed like over here.
Yeah.
And the wall's here. That's like barely more than a foot. Maybe less than a foot. No.
He Hulk punches through it.
But he's Big Hoss.
He Hulk punches through it.
Big Hoss ate his Wheaties.
Also, there was the point where Maurice.
He drank his milk and took his vitamins.
What's his fucking name? Not Maurice. What's the shit-stained husband's name?
Oh, Marty.
Marty got shot, and I'm like, he died from that? So I felt very vindicated when he wasn't dead, because I'm like, he died from that?
It was gonna. That's the thing too. Is that no one knows the movie they're in. He doesn't know to double tap, or like that was gonna knock him out.
It was before true crime when you knew how hard it was to actually kill someone.
Also, I mean, let's say it hit him directly in the chest and his lung collapsed. Like, that's probably pretty accurate to what he would be like.
Yeah.
It would knock him out for a little while, and then
It will kill him eventually. You can't just shoot someone once and be like, well, they're dead.
But also, if his lung collapsed, he wouldn't be screaming as loud as he was when the dirt was over him.
And he clearly knows you have to shoot people more than once because when he doctors the photos, there's many bullet holes.
Yeah, and he shoots at, but also he only dies by one bullet.
Yeah, he probably didn't die. He's probably dying out. He probably just passed out.
Yeah, he's bleeding out because he sees the water drip.
Yeah.
So, like, he's bleeding out. Honestly, he's probably alive when the cops get there.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know if he makes it all the way, but he can answer some questions.
Because, like, he clearly knows you need to shoot someone, like, more than once to be sure they're dead. But when he goes to actually kill someone, he does one shot, goes, well, big cost in his job, and leaves.
So insane. I cannot recommend this movie enough. This and Danny Boyle's Shallow Grave to me are very, very similar movies of like, I like Shallow Grave a little bit more, but of like, they nail they know exactly what they're going for, but their next movie is like what they'll be known for, like that kind of style. And have you seen Shallow Grave? Okay, I'll bring it on eventually. It's a great movie. But I cannot recommend this movie enough. And then go watch every other Coen Brothers movie. It's a wild ride. It's a wild, mostly great ride. Even the ones that aren't great are really good. And then there's a couple pitfalls. I'm going to have to rewatch Lady Killers.
That's how I feel about the 50 Shades movies.
I don't remember liking Lady Killers much at all.
50 Shades movies?
No, because we were gonna bring Jenna to do the commentaries.
Oh yeah, we were.
Yeah,
I need to talk to her about that.
But
they're good, dude.
Okay, watch this movie. Do you want to do socials?
Yeah, sure. If you want to follow us on Instagram, Two Men Movie Podcast, YouTube's Two Men and a Movie Podcast. If you want to see all our episodes, but don't want to see Brandon because he talks too much and we can't upload him there. If you want to follow me, you can find me at Midwest_magician, and that is all the socials.
Are you still accepting fanfic applications?
I am always accepting fanfic X-reader only. Don't send me this fucking third person bullshit.
And that's Two Men Movie Podcast at gmail.com.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they met gmail.com, yeah. So I don't think of it as social media. I think of it solely as fan fiction submission forms.
But you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Lemonade at harrisonpool.com, HARRISONPOOLEDOTCOM, harrisonpool.com. You can follow me on Letterboxd, which is the actual social media that I update the most, at HDPOOLE124. I'm not all of my reviews are bangers. Some of them are very boring and just like, here's what I thought in like 2 sentences. But every once in a while, I come out with some fire, in my opinion, and that makes it worth it anyway. Much like a good band, they can release like 2 or 3 bad albums in a row, and then they'll have one glorious single that you'll listen to over and over and over again. I don't any.
Are you talking about the Wombats or something?
I mean, I wasn't, but if that's what you're thinking, if that's where your
brain
brain
goes. A lot of
goes.
bands I like have the last albums have been some real stinkers.
Oh, but do you know who makes music that aren't stinkers? Tristan Hostetter, who did our theme song. He has a band with his brother Natural Health, and his solo project Tonight with Vince.
What's the band called?
His Natural Health.
I thought it was his brother's name.
No. He has with his brother Dalton, and then their band is called Natural Health. It's great. Sleep Chop Volume 1 is fantastic. I always want to call it Anywhere But Here. But give me 2 seconds. Let me look it up. But all of their albums are great. Most of them, I would say they were great, even if they weren't my friends. Anywhere You Need was actually released through my record label, Nowhere Fast Records. I love that. I'm a little biased, but I love that record a lot. But listen to Natural Health and listen to Tonight with Vince. And thank you, Tristan, for our theme song. And thank you guys for listening.
Hugs and kisses.
This is Matthew and Harrison's Two Men in a Movie. It's not what it sounds like.